What's up, hybrids? Welcome back to another episode of the Phantom Hybrid Podcast. This is Hanako, and I am here with Anthony, Michelle, and Dina. And we are discussing the penultimate season 1 episode for Welcome to Derry. And I'm going to start this out with just a 2-word sentence to the writers. Fuck you. Fuck you very much. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Until later.
All right. So I got three things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number one, clowns is creepy.
No matter what.
Listen.
Right. Even when they just, having fun with flowers. It's just not right.
Number two, people suck.
They do.
Amen. Yeah.
And three, love can be pure sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I was about to say, because I was going to have a 4.
Yes.
That's it. Those are my three takeaways from this episode.
4. Make sure you can back up your talking shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You always have those people encounter like, oh, I can do this, and then someone say, okay. And he did that.
Show me.
Yeah, show me.
Also,
I'm right here.
Look, I'll do number 5. I'll do number 5. Fuck the military. Because what the fuck was that?
Y'all stealing my shit. Stop.
You started it.
You did. That's how we do this episode. Okay, number 6.
Like, these are the important talking points for the next hour and a half, okay?
When something said it wasn't your daddy, believe it.
Right. And also, why would you want that to be? I don't care if my daddy was sitting on his lap. Why would you want that to be your daddy?
I told you already, she ain't right. She
ain't right. And then there's this crazy bitch.
She ain't never been. She's never been right. I'm just gonna say it. She ain't never been right.
Listen,
I will say, because when y'all said how old she was, I couldn't remember. And I think the reason why I couldn't remember how old she was is because she looks like she's young. And you know how people they look, their bodies are older, but or their age is older, but their bodies look young because
especially back in those times.
Yeah. And so that's why I thought she was younger than she is, because she just you could tell she just looks like a little innocent girl.
I feel like she might have been 11. I would give her like right around 11.
Yeah.
And then that would put her at like that would put her at 66 now.
Yeah.
So that seems about right.
Yeah.
See, I'm still saying it's like 5th grade. So that's 9 and 10.
Yeah.
But that's the difference. 9 through 11. She in that span.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But okay.
But we know that emotional development can be stunted by trauma.
Right. And that's what I was thinking.
So she's emotionally stuck.
She's emotionally stunted. 11. Yeah.
Yeah. And
I think she was prior to that even, because
from the mom. Probably however the mom died. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get into it, because I do want to talk about that, because there's some interesting things about her whole backstory and her dad's backstory. So episode starts out back in 1908, and this, I'm assuming, is a few months before Frances went to the carnival, because when we see that first flashback of 1908, she's sitting to the side by herself, and there's like really no mention of her dad anywhere. So I'm going to assume it's after that, because also when she shows her dad the clown costume in this episode, this is the first time that she's worn it, but 1908, we get introduced to Bob Gray, who is the original Pennywise the clown. And going back to what we started out this episode with, I don't know who thinks clowns that look like him are funny, because he definitely was giving off creepy vibes. Now, the only thing for me that was different was when he smiled a few times in his performance, it actually looked like a genuine smile. It was like everything else was creepy, but the smile was genuine. Like this is something he really enjoyed doing. It was making him happy. I was like, that makes it even more creepy because all of this is weird, but the smile looks very human. It looks genuine. I was like, okay, this is weird. But he's sitting there, he's dancing, he's doing his little skit with the flowers and the beaver or the chipmunk, whatever that thing was supposed to be. And then his performance gets morbid. I was like,
yeah.
Is this what they consider children's entertainment back then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Penny Dreadful clown show.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
right.
and then it went dark. And then it went dark. Like, okay, I'm okay with the flowers and then the beavers and the flowers. And then your wife died in the
right.
Okay, you dancing with her costume?
Yeah. I thought it was supposed to be like her ghost.
Oh, okay.
That's what I felt like too.
Either way, it's not right.
Creepy. Yeah, no, either way, it's creepy.
I'm not paying for that.
Yeah.
Helping you with the mechanics of everything.
Yeah.
Like, no wonder she was kind of stunted. You know what I mean? Like,
especially when we find out later on that her mom, she doesn't say her mom is gone. She just says that was mom's stage name. So obviously either mom left or mom died. But if mom died, for him to, I don't know if that was his way of holding on to her, if she was his stage partner back then or something, but it's very emotionally weird,
Yeah. When we were studying for trivia for Alice in Wonderland, so apparently, like up until Alice in Wonderland, everything that was geared towards kids were morality plays.
Okay.
So we are kind of in a new age of entertaining children.
Okay.
So it's still sort of like a morality play.
Yeah.
Now that you say that does make sense.
Yeah.
And
because
also
you know what
sense.
it makes me think of? It makes me think of Claudia in season 2 of Interview with the Vampire and her little play, because even though, and it reminds me of the theme song for this particular show. You have a little kid singing, a little girl singing, and she's singing and her voice is happy, but what she's singing about is not necessarily happy. And then you have the background images that are, dark. And it was the same thing with Claudia in Interview, because she's playing this little girl dressed up in this cute dress. And she's basically saying, I'm sick of this. I'm ready to fly out the window and commit suicide. So,
but it's smiling and happy.
Right.
Yeah.
So, that makes a lot of sense, Anthony.
That you bring that up, because it reminds me that like all the original fairy tales were really dark and horrifying.
Right.
And now they're Disney-fied.
They weren't really in the business of making children laugh and happy. They were in the business of warning children about the world.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But that whole thing, it really was weird. And then the thing that really kind of got me was he seemed to be drawing the kids in to the show. And then at the end, when he actually does get happy and he starts doing his dancing, that's when all these little fuckers get up on the stage and start causing mayhem. I'm like,
losing their minds and busting the balloons, and I was like, what is
pushing him, pulling his hair off. It was
like torture.
It was very weird. And
it's just like he got attacked by the Losers Club.
But you know what? But when you think about that,
foreshadowing.
Those kids were just bad kids, or do you think that was also its influence back then? Even
you know what? I don't know if I feel like it was its influence yet, simply because you had the little kid standing in the barn door, the barn window. And I think he was looking at that and saying, oh, you know what? This might be a better way to do this. So I think he just happened to look and see how the kids were behaving, because when we find out later on, this little kid, his parents apparently have been attacked by and killed by Pennywise, and Pennywise is inhabiting his body. I think at that point, Pennywise was looking like, oh, this is a great way to lure kids to me. I don't even have to fuck with the adults. I can just go straight to the children.
Kids,
See, I don't know. I was thinking that was a kid he got a while ago, and that he's been using that kid to lure people.
Because it's easy.
He's been, because he was like, oh, he did what he did to what's his name? Bob. He did the same thing. Oh, my parents are in trouble. Can you help me? I can't find them. It's like he's probably been doing that spiel for a minute because it would work.
I think the thing that convinced me that this was a more recent thing was right after the little kid told Bob, I can't find my parents. And he was like, where are they? They're dead. And, Bob is sitting there nonchalant, just drinking and smoking cigarette. Then you hear the screaming in the woods. And he asked the little boy, he was like, what was that? And the boy says, that was my mother. So I was like, oh no, Pennywise is like, I think it was recent. He was probably chewing on the, kind of taking his time with his meal of the parents. And he probably would have used the little boy in that way, but I think he went to Bob because he saw the effect Bob had on the children earlier. He was like, oh, if I get with this guy, I can lure them all in droves, in bulk, instead of just one person at a time.
Who just have to
I hear what you're saying, but Pennywise don't start in the afternoon and still chewing on his food into the nighttime.
Yeah.
It doesn't do that. And I think it's more convincing. I more likely believe that's what he's been doing recently, is using the body of that kid.
He doesn't always finish his victims off immediately, because if that was the case, Bev would have been dead.
But he don't go, well, he had her floating.
Yeah, he did hers different.
No.
But the thing is, he's been using the kid to get kids and adults. The screams was only for Bob.
Yeah.
Because of how quiet things were. Mm-hmm. If you heard that, other people that heard that scream.
Right.
It was to pull Bob in to be like, hey, I need help with my mama.
Yeah.
And he didn't go, and he went. Right. And he went.
Yeah, and also
that was the crazy thing.
He was
because like, you're so unhelpful while the kid is telling you all this stuff, and then right after he tells you his parents are dead, and you hear the screaming, he says, "Who was that?" He answers, "That's my mother." Dude, you just told me your mama was dead like 2 seconds ago. That would have been my signal to tuck tail and run.
They were dead though. I remember him saying they were dead.
He said he couldn't find them.
He said he couldn't find them.
No, I think he said they were dead. Hold on.
But the other thing is, I think he's been doing it a while, because one of the carnies, when they found Bob's handkerchief with the blood on it, they're like, oh, it had to be wolves must have dragged them off, because it's been a lot of wolf attacks in the area. I guarantee you those wolf attacks were not wolf attacks.
Okay. I forgot.
Yeah. That.
Okay.
And then I was wondering, like, how did he get the handkerchiefs out of the woods? Because he didn't drop the handkerchief with blood on it outside the woods.
I think they went looking for him.
They went looking for him.
Okay. So then I guess Pennywise was full. He didn't feel like eating them too. Maybe because they were adults.
Yeah. Well, they weren't. Yeah.
And it was probably a lot of them. So he probably.
And he just wanted Bob, though. That's who he wanted.
Yeah.
He wanted to consume Bob so he can take
Bob's place.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is interesting to me, because he doesn't seem to have to. Well, I guess because that's just the form he wants people to see him as for, I guess, forever. But like he can pretty much pretend to be anybody, and he don't have to eat them to pretend to be them. So it's interesting that he ate Bob. He lured him to, I don't know, I guess he wanted to taste him. Like, I want to know what he tastes like.
Maybe he doesn't have to, like you said, he doesn't have to eat them in order to project the image, but in order for him to physically have that image, maybe he has to do that.
And take his dance style, his comedic timing,
his memories,
his voice.
Yeah. He was like, I gotta get them all inside me.
Got a bunch of crunchy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I got face on my face. Boy, that
because that's probably how he was able to do. That's how he was able to do Maddie, because he consumed all of Maddie.
Oh gosh. Yeah, because he was Maddie in the physical form walking around.
Yeah, and
Like a child.
he didn't eat all of Phil, Teddy, and
Susie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
Mm.
tell you. But okay, going back to the carny and them giving her the handkerchief stuff. Why would you just give that to the child?
To a child. Like, this is your gruesome father's death.
And not only that, y'all just automatically assume he's dead. Like, y'all look for 20 minutes and y'all like, oh, I guess he gone.
No, they were like, what was left of him. And they brought back we found what was left of him, and here's the handkerchief.
No, but I don't think they found anything of him. I think that was the thing. They found the handkerchief.
Back in those days, if you just found the bloody handkerchief, it's nothing left because of those wolves.
Because of the wolves,
and they knew about the wolves, and the wolves in the area were eating people too. So
I was gonna say, because the way the blood,
there was no wolves in the area.
He could have been look. He could have had TB. He could have been coughing in the handkerchief like we see them doing all the other movies. You got TB. You're coughing up blood.
Yeah, that projectile is in splots. This was a soaking.
At first, I thought it was a chunk of him, and then I was
I did too. It was I did too. Yeah, and he had to make.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Now, the other thing I was thinking about is if it was wolves, they would have dragged him to some place to feed children and all that kind of stuff, or they would have just had a mangled body. But there was no body, just the handkerchief. Them some hungry wolves.
Yeah, yeah. But
and then, he had to consume him too because he had to make sure he get that red wig right. Okay.
Bob couldn't even get
so
that
you're right
red wig right.
Because they said there was no body until we found a trace of him, and all they had was a handkerchief. And it was like, well, until we find the body.
Okay. Yeah. And okay, so the little boy did say, I can't find my parents. But even with that, if you say I can't find my parents, and then you hear the scream and you very calmly say, oh, that's my mother, it's time for you to go. Because obviously this kid ain't too worried about his mom. If he hears her screaming, he's just like, that's my mother.
What did you say?
Did you see the look on this boy's face?
Right. Like, what kid is like that?
He looks creepier than the clown does. It's time to go.
Yeah.
But back then, they didn't regard kids too much anyway.
Well, that's why I just wish Bob had kept his same energy he had when he was like, nah, I can't help you.
Right. Like, he wasn't even trying. Like, okay.
Can you help me find my parents? Can't you see I'm busy?
Drinking. And then finally you're going to walk off with him. Come on.
Right.
No.
Because he grabbed your hand.
That's our customer service tent. Go over there.
Right. Because at this point, I'm like, oh, so Bob only likes his child. He don't like no other children.
Right. Right. That's what I was thinking too.
But then I started thinking about after everything happens and Ingrid is told that her dad is dead or whatever, I started thinking about Miss Kirsch's conversation with Lily in the last episode, how she was saying that she stayed with the carnival, and then when they left Derry, she stayed in Derry. I was like, she had to have remained in the carnival for a while, because we see her later on when Frances is at the carnival and she's by herself, and she does look a little bit older in that one. And I don't know if that's just maybe she did her makeup different, but I was like, how was she staying in Derry by herself? She had to stay for a couple of years until she could support her own self. And she probably just stayed with the carnival because they were like, okay, from what you hear of those types of carnivals from the years, they treat each other like family. So once her dad disappeared, they probably were like, we're not going to leave you alone. We'll still take care of you. You can still work with us and we'll still pay you, or we'll still, provide your upkeep, however they did that. And then once they decided to move on, she was like, yeah, I'm just gonna stay. But I was like, she had to have been older than that, because who was she gonna stay with as a kid? Just, oh, I'm not going with the carnival. So where did you stay? Who took care of you? So it had to have been a few years.
Yeah.
And if you're in that environment, you're already young, you've already dealt with the loss of one parent, whether it was the parent that left or the parent that died, whatever, you're dealing with the loss of one, and then you have another one taken from you so violently. Yeah. And then if you think about it, notice every time she talks about her father, she talks about him being taken, not killed, not dead.
Right.
So I think, like, yeah, she got a couple of screws loose, but I think for her, she really has always believed that her dad was just out there, which kind of further makes me think that her mom just left.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But she did say terrible accident. She did. But I think she starts saying taken after he had Muncher Crunch in the basement. And then she was like, oh, that spirit took her dad. Because at first she did tell Lily that it was a terrible accident that took him. And I was
when
like,
did she tell her that? When they were
she's not accident, but she said something terrible happened.
Okay.
I don't know when, because I was like, oh, I wonder what happened. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
No, I really thought he just took his persona. I didn't think he killed him. I just thought maybe he died at like a bad freak accident or something.
Well, it doesn't help.
Not that he lured him into the woods.
It doesn't help. They never found the body.
Yeah.
That doesn't help either.
Yeah. And so
for her, that's terrible because it was blood everywhere. So it was a terrible incident. But I'm just saying, I wasn't expecting him to be, taken.
Mm-hmm.
I thought like a freak accident, something fall on him, and the next Pennywise like, oh shoot, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
I have someone he lured him into the woods.
Mm-hmm. So again, I think this is the most we've ever delved into the backstory of the original Pennywise the Clown, right? Because I don't think they gave this story in the book. And I know they didn't go into it that deeply in either of the movies.
Well, no, just that when Bev was in the house, she had a vision of Bob putting on the makeup, and and she saw the same pictures.
Okay,
yeah, but that was it. I think
we
were just supposed to.
Didn't they look? And then in the original movie, I can't remember if it was in the second movie, in the other movies, but they saw the photo album of him as the real, kind of like what they showed in here with Lily looking in the album. They kind of had that same similar thing.
Okay. Yeah. But we never knew his full backstory. Just what he looked like, and that he was a real person that was a clown.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
How unfortunate.
That blood on the handkerchief, it's like, yeah, you got little splatters, but it's all concentrated in one spot.
Yeah, it almost looked like some brains and stuff on there, but it's not. It's just, it's soaked in blood.
Just soaked in blood.
It's soaked.
Because he had it tucked in his outfit.
And then they just presented it to her like, here's a present for you.
Yeah. Like, who does that to a child? Or anybody, really?
I guess that's what they do in 1908.
Yeah. I mean, he probably he's like, I ain't really got no tact. I just go tell her how I can tell her. Yeah.
And that could be. Some people don't have that kind of, I don't know, bedside manner when it comes to children, especially if they don't have any.
Yeah.
And him being the owner of the carnival or whatever, he probably was just like, damn, now I gotta find another clown, I mean, think about it. That's probably a good source of entertainment for him. He probably had to give refunds that night, because while Pennywise was over there drinking and smoking, you could hear the announcement in the background, like, the next Pennywise show will be in 30 minutes, blah, blah, blah.
It won't be.
He probably had to give out some refunds and come out of pocket, and he got to think about his business, his operations.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. And I mean, regardless of how the carny community might be family or whatever, he's probably also thinking, damn, now there's another mouth I gotta feed, because her dad's gone. He not just gonna kick her out on the street, but
go and put that periwinkle on for me.
right.
Do a little dance.
Do a little dance, little periwinkle.
Oh,
so it's funny because I didn't notice until I rewatched so we could tape the last episode. When I rewatched the last episode, I had noticed that she said that her name was Periwinkle, and when she was talking to Lily, and then when I went back and I watched this, and she was saying she took her mom, he gave her her mom's name, and she was like, oh, that blah blah, and then she was like talking to Lily about him and his little Periwinkle, and I was just like, oh, she is far gone, like far, because that was her mom's stage name, and now she got it, and she was not gonna let that go. That meant everything to her, like her whole everything, because her dad gave her that honor. You could tell, like she was so like, dad, like and I was just like, oh boy, this is why. This is why.
Yeah. And also, I mean, think about it. Her dad, again, it seemed like he doted on her. Once he was gone, she probably didn't have that from anybody else. We see she obviously didn't have it from her husband, which could also be a reason why she ended up with Hank in the first place.
Yeah.
She was going in search of something, connection, whatever. And then it just, once she put it to, two and two together, like, oh, this might be how I can see my dad again. You went from one form of love or whatever it was you had with Hank, and you're like, oh, but I can get the greatest one over here. I just got to sacrifice this one.
Oh, boy.
But, okay, let's go ahead and get into the black spot.
Get into the black spot.
The black spot.
Because speaking of Hank Grogan, I thought you said you was going to stay your ass in that room.
No.
Yeah.
Because you would have been fine if you did, but you showed yourself.
You just made it worse.
You did. I don't want people to get shot because of me. Well, you did.
Everybody died because of you.
Right.
Everybody.
And what did you think they was gonna do? Did you think they was gonna take you? You knew they was gonna lynch your ass. And you just told Ronnie y'all was never. Yeah, you told Ronnie y'all was never gonna be separated again. The hell.
Like that, I just can't imagine there was nowhere to like. He couldn't figure out nothing else besides coming out there and leave these people alone. Like they're not gonna leave witnesses that they strung you up and lynched you.
That part. So all those people, they were dead regardless, whether they gave him up, whether they continued to hide him. Like I said, they had windows. He could have jumped out a window. He could have ran into the night. He could have hid. And then if they would have gone and searched, they would have been like, oh, okay. He didn't have to come out and do the way. No. And then not only that, you know what kind of reaction your daughter is going to have. Mm-hmm. So now you really have put her in danger. Mm-hmm. Not to mention her friends that are, I mean, Will was, I have a huge problem with Hank Grogan. I understand you really were trying to, you thought you were doing the right thing. Hey, don't bother them. I'm here. I'll come quietly. But like you said, they're not going to leave witnesses to that, especially if you find him hanging from a tree the next day.
They used to firebomb churches just because Black people was in there. So
a little illegal juke joint?
Yeah.
You think they just gonna let that ride?
And they don't even care. It's part of the military land. It doesn't even matter.
No. Doesn't matter that they had masks on their face and nobody would be able to point out who it was anyway. All you got to do is probably walk into town. I mean, oh, I remember that car. Oh, I remember that car. You could easily do that. But again, you have two witnesses who saw the cars who would be able to identify. There was no way out for this situation. None. Mm-hmm. And then for it to escalate as fast as it did, because they come into the juke joint, They have the guns drawn. Hey, we want Hank Grogan. And like we said in the last episode, these are military men. So they pulled their guns out. They was like, oh, you didn't think we was just in here just to be in here, right? Yeah. So now you have a standoff. Yeah. Not only that, you got kids over here.
Yeah. So, yeah, that is the part that bugged me about that. We got a standoff. You got kids over here. Did they not see the kids?
I don't think they were paying attention to the kids, because I think the way that I looked at it, and all the adults were kind of standing around, I think they were shielding the kids to try to protect them. Because I mean, think about it. All the folks in the juke joint, they were cool with Rich and Marge being in there and Will being in there. You know, I mean, old boy gave them some drink. Somebody else put Rich on the drums. They were having a good time. You know,
and I'm gonna be completely honest. Right, the girl who was a singer, get your butt home.
Yeah, and she was probably a teenager.
I think they probably did see Will and Ronnie and didn't care.
Because they was black.
And they probably and then they could have saw Rich and still didn't care. But if they had saw Marge, it would have been different. That's what they didn't see.
I don't know if at that point it would have made any difference.
For her, it would, because they would have sent her out like the other girl.
I do wonder about that because Richie wasn't technically white.
Right. So him, but if they saw Marge, they would have sent her out like they sent.
I thought they saw the kids, and they saw the guns, and they might have seen the kids, and that's why they was like, okay, let's back away. But then
I don't think
of course
so.
They were just like, nah, lock them up, light them up.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
And start shooting so that while they try to get out.
Yeah, because when they drew the guns, and he said, put your weapons down, okay, everybody, let's go. I was like, that was way too easy. So I figured they were just gonna go outside, wait for them to come out, and then pick them off that way. I didn't think, as soon as they closed the door, I thought about it, and I thought back to the Patriot, and I was like, oh, I know what's about to happen. This is about to be horrible.
I just want to point out Dick's face when Hank came out, because
he was like, this motherfucker.
God damn.
Yeah, you just caused us some problems here.
I mean, and Dick he said it. He said, you about to bring down a whole lot of trouble on us. And guess what? That's exactly what he did.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, of course, the racists, the white people, they chain the doors up.
Yep.
And they firebomb the juke joint. So now you've got people panicking. You've got people trying to get out. They've already locked both of the doors. Every time someone goes to the window and they try to shoot outside, they're getting shot. So you got people getting their heads blown off, people getting shot. All this stuff going on. And then you have the kids who are also in there panicking, trying to get out. It's pandemonium. I'm just, again, as much as we hate to see these images, I'm glad that they showed it, because again, a lot of people don't know that stuff like this really actually happened until they watch it in something like this, or something Lovecraft Country, or in The Watchmen.
Yeah.
You know?
Or Sinners, because that's what they were going to do. They were going to do that in Sinners.
Yeah. Yeah. There's been a lot of comparisons actually to Sinners with a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was the times. That's what they did.
It was an everyday thing for Black people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I
mean,
like
Dina said, they would just firebomb the church just because.
Just because.
Yeah. So in the midst of all this chaos, everybody dying, everybody getting shot, and all this other stuff, Dick starts seeing the dead people walking around. He sees the dead people that are dying right then and there. I think he sees some other dead people. And then he sees a Native woman walking through the walking through the juke joint. And he does what he didn't want to do. He calls out to her because he's trying to figure out a way out. Because at this point, they're trapped. There is no way out. The windows are being watched. The men have surrounded the place. Every time someone gets out a window, they get shot. If they go to the window and try to shoot, they get shot.
But I thought he called her because he did have a way out. But he heard the kids, and that's when he called so I can find the kids because he was about to leave.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what
He told the rider.
Yeah, he was good. He was good.
Saw her when he was getting ready to leave, and
but he was good though. And then he was like, "Oh crap, there's children."
But if you notice, when he heard the kids at first, he was still gonna go. He heard the kids screaming.
And then he changed his mind, and that's when he asked her, "Where are the kids?" Mm-hmm. Like, damn, I got to do this because he wasn't gonna leave them. And he was about to leave them.
That's the little girl whose mother or whoever, I think it was her mother, who was the original person that was like,
she's the one that became the gatekeeper or the one
right, who got her mom killed.
The 13 artifacts.
Yeah.
But in the midst of all this, like I said, the kids, they're trying to stick together. Will and Ronnie are trying to stick together, and they keep getting torn apart by people who are panicking, running, whatever. Rich and Marge are sticking together. They're trying to stay together. They're trying to find a way out. And Ronnie notices Pennywise because Pennywise, he appears and he's looking around like, oh, I got a smorgasbord here, and literally starts munching on one of the ladies, and Ronnie sees it. And he just kind of looks at her and just makes it known that, yep, I'm here. I'm about to have some fun. Dick sees him. I don't think Rich and Marge ever saw him. I think it was just Ronnie, because I think I feel like Ronnie was more scared, not only just because of her, but she was also like, Daddy, where are you, Dad? She's still worried about her dad because she and her dad got separated in the midst of all of this. So I think probably on that fear level, she was probably at the highest. So Pennywise was like dialed into her,
Yeah.
But I don't even know if I'm gonna get through this.
I don't really have any words for it. It's other than, Pennywise is there doing his thing, but just this whole thing is just disturbing.
Right.
It is
to see.
Because you trying to escape and you're being shot.
And that's what I meant by people are just awful. People are terrible.
Because this was not even out of the norm.
Yeah.
For this time.
Like it didn't need Pennywise for sure.
Yeah. It didn't. But because everybody is scared, Pennywise, that's what he this is exactly what I need.
And well, that's what Ingrid says later when she's talking to him. She's like, I knew if I did this, you couldn't resist all the pain and death that you would be here.
Ugh.
Right.
So she set all this up just for that.
So trifling.
But okay, lots of death, lots and lots of death. And you have the kids who are trying to escape. Ronnie gets thrown around from one person to another person. Marge accidentally falls into some fire. Her arm catches on fire. Rich puts it out. And in the midst of all this, Dickie is walking around. And this is where he sees an old soldier with the bayonet on him. And this soldier, he just walked across my screen. This soldier, his whole lower jaw is completely gone. So this was obviously not one of them because nobody had a bayonet on their shoulder. This had to be an older
whoever died in that area.
But he actually figures out a way to get out, because when he came to the black spot earlier that day, after everything he had gone through in the tunnel, he noticed that there was a leak coming from the refrigerator. So the floor is wood, the floor is weak. He gets somebody to help him move the refrigerator. He punches a hole or kicks a hole into the floor. He's getting ready to escape, like we said. He's like, yeah, I'm about to go. Ronnie is calling for her dad. And he looks and he was like, oh, she needs her dad. And then he was like, nope, I'm still going to go. I'm still going to get down. Then as he's getting ready to crawl into the hole, this is where the native ghost comes. And I don't know if that was just something that he all of a sudden got a guilty conscience, or he was like, okay, if this person is here right now, let me use her to do what I need to do. Because Dick was still about to get in that floor, even after he heard Ronnie, where's my dad? Where's my dad? But I don't know if they would have let him be in peace. If they're like, oh, you let children to save your ass. So he's like, you know what? Let me go on ahead and open my mouth and try to find these children.
I think part of it is because he knew this was a lot of this with Pennywise was his fault. Yeah. Especially when he saw the native lady, it probably jogged his memory that he took the information. He's helping basically to try to he's helping to stir Pennywise up to a certain extent.
Yeah.
By doing what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But so Pennywise, he comes strolling in, and I was like, this is not supposed to be funny in the midst of all of this.
He's strolling in.
He was strolling in. He was like, hey. And he finds one of the girls and he calls out to her name, and he was like, come, let me help you. Maybe it was the fear, but yeah, I'm sorry. If I'm in a fire and that clown comes to me and says, let me help you, know what? I will take my chances with the fire.
Yeah. Yeah. That was just a lot of despair, though, because there's never a time, unless I was passed out, that I would have stopped trying to get out of there. I would have been trying to find something, because I just can't imagine just sitting down and just,
yeah.
Like once the kids were stuck, they were stuck. The stuff fell down, they were stuck. She wasn't stuck. Despair just took over her. And I just can't imagine.
I think because she was with somebody, they were getting ready to leave, and he literally had just gotten shot in front of her.
Yeah, so at this point, she's
and I think she was just kind of like, if I move, I'm gonna die. You know what I'm saying? Probably. She was thinking about that immediate danger, I think.
Yeah.
So
I was like, girl, what is you doing? Get up.
But it didn't matter, because when Ronnie sees Pennywise, he's chomping on her. Like, has almost eaten half her face, and he's like, do I have face on my face? I was like, motherfucker.
Face on my face. On my face.
This ain't.
Oh my gosh.
And then Dick finds Ronnie, and they see Pennywise. And Pennywise was like, are you seeing things? Well, I think they see you too. And you see a whole army of dead people behind Pennywise walking towards them. I was like, oh my God. So then Hank finds Dick, finds his daughter. They get ready to go into the hole. And Dick is like, we still got other kids. Or rather, I think Hank says that to him. There's still other kids. We got to get the other kids. Because I think they have Will at this point too. Right.
Right.
So it's just Rich and Marge. And Dick is trying to get to them, and the ceiling collapses in between them. So they're cut off at this point. Dick gets in, he keeps going. Rich and Marge are left to try to figure out a way to get out, or, perish in the fire. There is a box, and it's a box. I think it was like a cooler or something, because they had the sodas. And Rich is like, help me turn this over. We can get in and we can, shield ourselves from the fire. He was like, this is the only way we're going to make it out. I can't. It's on that part now. And Marge is telling him, she's like, it's too small. It's too much room. He was like, no, we can fit.
Get in.
He puts her in, And when she gets in and she realizes how tight it is, she's like, we both can't fit.
Oh my God.
And Rich looks at her. At this point, I am ugly sobbing to the TV because I know what's about to happen. Rich closes her in the, he pushes her down. He was like, look, we're both not going to fit. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And he shuts her in there and he lays on top. When he laid on top of it, I was done. Because this whole time we've been talking all season, and I have said Rich is my favorite character.
Yeah,
which means I know he's going to die. But I was totally prepared for him to have a violent, gruesome death by Pennywise. This is what I was prepared for. I was not preparing
for this sweet sadness,
for this beautiful death scene, phenomenally acted.
Yeah.
By a fucking kid?
Yeah.
This is worse.
Yes.
Take him to the sewer.
Because he was at peace knowing he was saving the woman he loved. And he was too young to be feeling them grown feelings.
Right. I would have took that picture when I saw you in that hallway. You made that comment. I love you. I love you. He kissed the
box.
He kissed the box. I was like, you know what? Mm-mm.
And the other thing is, while they're sitting there having the conversation, like you said, he's completely at peace because it was so interesting. You know, I've been talking for the last couple of episodes. I was like, we still haven't seen what Rich's fear yet. We haven't seen his fear yet. Like Pennywise hasn't come after him. Pennywise didn't have a dog in that fight.
No.
He didn't have anything to grip with Rich because even from the beginning, when Lily came and told them about Pennywise and Rich came into it, he was like, oh, okay, that's an evil spirit. We know my family knows how to get rid of them. He was very matter of fact about it. Now, granted, he was scared the times that he had Pennywise in his face because who wouldn't be?
Right, yeah.
But every other time, he has been the most level-headed out of all of them. And it shows in this scene. This boy knew he was going to die to save this girl, and he was completely fine with it. And even went back to the conversation they had in the cafeteria about pirates and knights.
Yeah.
You know, and he was like, you know, the other thing that knights do, he was like, we save the fair maidens.
Save the fair maidens. And
she knew, once he said that, she knew it was the done deal. It was absolutely done. She stopped fighting. Because at this point, how are you going to take that away from him?
And then when they found him, he was just so calm. Like he was calm. So he just, like everybody else is running around screaming or, you know, terrified in the corner. Like he was just calm. Like, this is what I'm supposed to do.
He laid down on his, basically he laid down on his grave and he did what he needed to do. He got Marge calm. He expressed his feelings for her. And it was so sweet because you would think him being the one who had the crush on her the longest, that he would have been like, I love you. But in the last episode, when she mentioned dating, they were both kind of uncomfortable. I don't think he wanted to make her uncomfortable in that moment. So when she said it to him, I love you, Rich, I was like, you know what? I can't. Fuck y'all. Fuck the writers who did this. Right. But also at the same time, bravo, because that was some amazing writing. Arian Escartaya, that's the young actor's name who plays Rich. Give this boy all the awards because he
deserves an Emmy.
He acted in this scene better than some adult actors I've seen who've been doing this for years.
For sure.
That boy
Emmy, Golden Globe.
Yes.
He deserves it.
He has some instinct and he has some talent.
Yeah.
So who's gonna use Rich for their what is it? What's our thing? Funerals and repasts?
Oh, the funerals and repasts. Yeah.
Who's gonna have Rich on their list for that?
Yeah, somebody better. Somebody better.
Can we count this as sci-fi since he's an alien?
Yes.
Because we can do it at Cellophast.
Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely. Because
it is an alien and has a spaceship.
Oh my God.
This
Talk
is
about tears.
and when he like Michelle, when he kissed that box,
Yeah.
like
It
I'm
it
so
has
glad.
everybody. It's everybody because like you look at social media, YouTube, everyone is in a chokehold from this.
Yes.
It just would have been better if Rich died in the sewer because this is worse. Like everyone was done all week. And it only been not all week. It felt like a week. It's only been 2 days. It's only been 2 days.
Yeah.
And then two things. One, we saw how he was going to die when we first see Rich. Rich is really, I hate when they do shit like that.
Yeah, I just seen that clip about that.
Yeah, because you see the fire in her glasses. And I thought it was weird because I said something to Anthony like, well, that ain't Pennywise. So why was there fire in her glasses? But I didn't pay attention to it, not thinking there's going to be a fire later on in this season. And then second, Marge's husband, I feel sorry for him.
Well, I think that's what you were saying. You were saying in the last episode, Dina, somebody has a fan theory that Marge is actually Richie Tozer's mom, and she named her kid after him.
Mm-hmm. Whatever her husband is.
Yeah.
He's second fiddle, baby.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
So
she met her true love when she was 12.
She did. And no one is ever going to live up to him.
Yeah.
No.
Ever. I mean,
and I just feel
he gave his life for me. Like, how could I ever love anybody else?
Mm-hmm.
And I love that her telling him that she loved him. I love that was the last thing he heard.
Yeah.
I love it.
Even when she said there wasn't enough room, his face was just like, I know, baby, I'm doing this because I want you to live. Like
he knew when he looked at that box, he already knew he wasn't going to come out of this.
Yeah. He was just thinking about her.
And then when the fire is over in the morning and the firemen are there and she starts, yelling, hey, let me out, let me out, let me out. And they let her out. When she gets out, she looks over because you can see the top of his head because they've apparently taken him off the box, which to me is stupid. You took him off the box, but you didn't check to see what was in the box.
Yeah.
I don't think they took him off the box. I think he sat down. Yeah.
I think he sat down.
I don't know because I feel like I don't feel like he would have. I think he would have stayed up there and protected her until the very end. I don't think he would have gotten up.
He did the way how he was positioned.
He sat down.
Like he just sat down in resignation. Like this is it.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah.
Because if
he was done and he just was.
Yeah, because if they picked up his body, they would have taken him out. They wouldn't have sat him right there.
Yeah, I mean, he's like stiff of how he was sitting.
Yeah.
Just.
And his eyes were still.
I know.
And then they climbed over.
She didn't see him. And then when she turned around and he was sitting there, oh my God.
Because I think she went, I think she was like, where is he? She was like, I got to find him. And then, like I said, you see the top of his head. She goes over, she sees him. And just at the moment that she gets ready to sit next to him, here comes Ronnie. Ronnie sees him. She starts crying. Then here comes Will. I was done.
Yeah.
I was so done at this point. Because yeah. I just
they knew what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
That was rough.
It's your boy Aladdin wrote this. You know that, right? Your boy Aladdin.
When I heard that, I was like, what? So apparently the guy who did the voice for Aladdin in the 1992 movie, that was 92, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
The person who did Aladdin's voice was the writer of this episode. A whole new world, my ass.
Yeah. Thank you, Aladdin. Thank you for this
horribleness. Right. Thank you for traumatizing me for the rest of the year. and probably for next year as well.
Yeah.
But all the while this carnage is going on, you got your racers outside. And of course, at this point, they've taken their masks off.
Yeah.
And
they're real men.
And they're just sitting there and they're just watching. And the only person who looks like he might have a little shred of regret is the one person who, out of all of them, should be the most upset, and that's Susie's dad.
Did you notice that at first he was you could tell he was still like, but then he was just like, this ain't what I actually wanted.
This is not what I wanted. I just wanted the man responsible for my child.
For my kid.
I didn't want to kill all these people.
Yeah.
Because I don't think for him it was ever about all of this other stuff. He just wanted the person he thought killed his kids.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And you could see that on his face.
Because he was very, he was, you know.
Yeah.
But you set stuff in motion, you can't stop, brother. I mean, Hank knows that now.
Yeah. But I mean, he wasn't even the one that set it in motion. This was Bowers.
No, I know. But so
or technically it was Ingrid, but
Ingrid.
Yeah, it's Ingrid.
Yeah, Ingrid. He technically had his part though, because he did come to the bus with the gun, and he did probably was, going after the sheriff's job about it because he was pissed, that nobody had arrested him and all that stuff too. But I hope they all die a horrible death, similar to somebody else who died right after. That was pretty amazing.
Yeah, but he deserved it. But I also want to say you gotta make sure your car works when you commit a crime. And don't let someone drive off without you. Be like,
right.
Help me.
Didn't start the first time.
I would have been like, I need some help. We got to get out of here.
Please.
I think she sabotaged.
She did, but I'm just saying. I'm just making a joke. You need to make sure your car works when you commit.
Yeah, make sure it works.
Because let me tell you, when they get ready to leave, and again, like you said, his car's not starting. You got one other car that's sitting next to you. That car didn't hear your car not turning over. They were like, yeah, you know what? We're going to go ahead and leave. So, of course, this person is Mr. Kirsch.
Mr. Kirsch, the butcher, getting butchered.
So while he's sitting there trying to get his car fixed, you see Periwinkle, or his wife, walking through the woods, and she turns and she looks at him and she was like, Stanley. He's like, what are you doing here? What is this you got on? She was like, this is my true self. I was like, oh, your ass about to die. You really about to die.
A true self.
Crazy. And he was like, what are you talking about? This is me. This is me. He says,
you get that makeup off and the
black and blue is what you're gonna be if you don't get back to the house and take that shit off. And he's being mean. I'm like literally threatening her. And then all of a sudden her face changes. I said, oh, Pennywise is behind him. Because she's like, hello, Papa. And Pennywise is behind with a big ass axe.
Or I didn't know that was like a meat cleaver.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
I think
he was like,
he stole his meat cleaver to kill him with.
But where did you get the meat cleaver from? Did Stanley have it in his car?
I think that's what I was thinking. It was probably in his car.
He takes that meat cleaver across Stanley's face and literally splits his face in half. Then he takes the head and he starts eating it right in front of Ingrid.
Like a popcorn bucket.
Well, it ain't like she ain't never seen him eat before, so.
Well, no, because remember, she only heard it. She didn't see him eat Mabel.
She also opened the door. She had to see something.
He might have saw like the parts, but she didn't see him like actually chewing.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing.
And bone and
she's like, I knew you would come back. I just knew. I just had to set this in motion.
I'm sorry, I couldn't focus because he's snacking on the head.
Hey, like, come on. I'm like Dina said, you want your daddy to be doing that?
Right.
Oh,
he pulls
and then
her,
like he enjoying it. It's not like, oh my God, I gotta
pulling
eat
her
this
further into
to
the
feel
delusion.
better.
He was like, show me the bow. So he's literally doing the stuff that Bob did with her. Show me the bow. Oh my God, that's my good girl. I was like, bitch, if you don't run. Because
he probably like, well, damn, let me entertain this. All right, show me the bow.
Show me the bow.
Yeah,
and
show me the
then
bow.
the hug.
Such a good girl.
Yeah, the hug. And and honey, she went a thin line between love and hate when he said, "Well, I'm going to sleep now." She was like,
And
first
she
of all,
gripped that. She gripped.
She gripped him. He was like, "Excuse me,
what you doing?
what you doing?"
I'm going to sleep.
And she was like,
Well, I have
no.
left your ass alone. I have not eaten you. I have not done anything to you. I pretend to be your papa. Don't touch me.
But she has abandonment issues. She was like, don't abandon me.
Don't abandon me. He said, oh, that head started turning. I said, it's a wrap for you.
Well, first of all, he was like, okay, I'm really tempted to bite the shit out of her, but I'm gonna hold this together.
I thought he was gonna eat her.
Yeah, because he was like about to drool and stuff, like, oh,
right.
This is good.
But then when she grabs him and he starts turning around, oh, now you want to notice this ain't your daddy?
Yeah.
It's not like this is the first time you've seen the glowing eyes. He literally just showed you the glowing eyes while he was eating your husband's brains.
Well, I'm gonna leave it alone. I had another thought.
What's your thought?
It's too early.
No, you might as well go ahead and get it out. What's your thought?
Well, maybe he wasn't looking like he was about to bite her. Maybe he was like, ooh, this is exciting. She looking at him like, ooh, this ain't my daddy. He all like, yeah. I think I'm going to sleep now. And she's like,
I'm going to sleep.
And now she wants to go, oh, you're not him. You're not him.
Right, because she saw someone else looking at her.
He's like, I'm Pennywise. You're dancing.
Yeah, I'm your dancing daddy. Not that daddy though.
Not that daddy.
And then what have you done with him? He was like, oh, I ate him.
He's still inside.
But I've been eating people. Like, what part of this relationship did I not tell you that I was eating people? Not tell you, I showed it to you too.
Yeah.
You heard it, you saw it, you smelled it. What else is there to do about this?
Right.
And then how she didn't piece it together when she sees her dad as this clown that's eating people. She didn't piece together that they brought you a handkerchief with his blood saying he got mauled by wolves.
I don't think she was thinking about that at this point. I think at this point, her mind was probably finally cracking when she came to this realization, like, oh, you really are not my dad. He was like, oh no, your dad is here. He's in me.
And you are 60 something.
Right. And
your daddy's over 100.
Anthony. So you remember we were having the conversation and I was like, I wonder if I said something about maybe there's a part of Bob that's still in him, because I was thinking about like, there's a movie called Warm Bodies. It's a zombie movie. And basically with that movie, what those zombies do is when they eat the brains of their victims, they get the memories of that person. So that's what I was thinking of with this. Like, okay, if he's eating their brains, because he said something about eating Phil's brains too, right? When he was Maddie. So I was like, maybe if he did eat Bob's brains, he does know about Ingrid, and that's why he was able to kind of connect the dots. And he was like, oh, okay, I might can use this. Not necessarily because of what he was seeing in Ingrid's mind, but probably what he saw when he ate Bob. That's what I'm
sure thinking. when he ate Bob, the thing I think about it is it has so much psychic ability that every person, because it kind of feeds off of that too, that energy as well, that it takes all the person's memories anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to eat you for the memories. It's already been in Dick's head. It knows everything about Dick it needs to know.
Yeah.
And it didn't have to eat Dick. So when it remember, is an alien. Like, it doesn't really understand humanity. We don't make any sense to it. It just knows it knows how to get us, how to eat us or lure us in. That's what it's figured out. But when it tells her, "Oh yeah, he's a part," it's lying. It's a part of me. There's a piece of him reaching out to you right now
because that's what she want to hear.
Because that's what she wants to hear.
Mm-hmm.
We've been helping him, so
I mean,
what people want, and it can use what people want to reel them in.
Yeah.
So it knew that's what it knew that's what she wanted to hear. So that's what it was doing. Yeah, he's here. Come closer. And then when she got all crazy, he was like, "Well, fuck it, deadlights."
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, well, she gone now for real.
Deadlights.
Deadlights.
He didn't bite her, didn't crunch on her. Deadlights.
Yeah.
He's too useful.
That was crazy because we see her the next morning. They're wheeling her into the ambulance and she's whole. She just ain't quite all there until she passes by the kids and her eyes kind of go to them. I was like, the fuck? But they're pulling Marge out the box now.
Mm-hmm.
But Leroy and Charlotte finally appearing at the black spot, which is so weird because I was like, Charlotte, weren't you going to the black spot yesterday to go do what you needed to do?
Yeah.
Why are you overnight? Like, your child has been gone all night. Y'all just not
once again.
And we look, it couldn't have been Pennywise because Pennywise was having a smorgasbord. And here he wasn't thinking about. He was like, "Oh, whatever, I'm over here." Mm-hmm. That poor baby. Ugh.
Yeah, it is weird that they, that means that. So, because I know she did tell him she was helping Hank.
She was going to help him get out of town.
Then they must have heard something about the black spot that morning that made them come out there. But like, where's your child? You ain't even questioning where your kid was?
I think Charlotte probably knew where Will was because
she dropped him off.
You're right. She did.
But I'm just saying, like, but she didn't come back for you. Left him at a juke joint.
That's what I'm saying.
You ain't never come back?
There is a lot of parents not paying attention to kids and plot holes at the same time, but we're going to ignore that because we're going to want to get to the technical side of things. Marge probably shouldn't be alive either, but that's neither here nor there. So let's move on.
Yeah,
none of these parents look for their kids.
That she's in a box in the middle of 500-600 degree temperatures, but
it was a
no, the temperature is
it was a cooler.
It was like a cooler.
Okay, come on, friends. Come on, friends.
She barely had air.
The
fire was
the heat is fine. I get that with the refrigerator box, right? It can't survive a nuclear bomb.
Right. She probably
however, it can. You never saw Indiana Jones.
I did, and it was wrong.
However, no, it was wrong that he survived in it, but the refrigerator will survive, though. I didn't say a person in it will survive. But the air, like closed off in the box, she literally would have suffocated. And
that's what I was thinking too.
Okay,
but it had great filters. Check it out at Home Depot.
Okay, so I've been binge watching Station 19, which is a show about firefighters, and those people lived abnormally long for being in the middle of a raging fire.
Right?
They all should have been died. They should have died of smoke
inhalation, like immediately almost.
Marge should not be like. But again, like Michelle said, we're not going to talk about the technicalities of this. It's a show,
and that the other kids' parents don't know where they are. We're not going to talk about it. Okay.
Richard's parents is going to be surprised as fuck.
We thought he was in bed. I mean, who knew?
Who knew? They don't never know where Rich at. But I feel like
I want to see Ronnie's grandmother because
with the curfew. With the curfew.
Yeah, at this point, I know I make fun of her on the couch, but she has to be clearly worried. You think she dead? You know what? She could be. No one has paid attention to her. No one has gone to check on her.
You know what? Charlotte probably called her and was like, "Hey, we got Hank. He's safe. You don't have to worry about it."
No, because
and
she'd be the
Ronnie
first one
with,
to go outside and tell everybody.
Yes, she would be.
So,
I don't
no.
think she would.
She would tell
She
her,
knows
I'm
who's
sorry,
looking for her son. I don't think she would.
She would tell her close church friend, and then that friend would tell another friend over some chicken salad and some tea.
I don't know if she would because here's the thing. You hollering to everybody at the beginning, he's innocent, he was here, blah, 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 blah. Once you realize they don't care, because he could have very well been there with her, they were still going to come after him. I think after that, she probably was like, you know what?
But see, the neighborhood was fine. So she talked to them.
Hold on. She changed her opinion when she found out he lied.
Yeah, she did.
She was like, oh, he lied. Right.
Yeah. Only him and God knows what he was doing.
Right. So I wouldn't trust.
First of all, why can't she tell her close friend? Because they're not going to tell where he is.
Because she old black women, they do is gossip.
But each other. You're not going to go to the police station and tell them. They're not going to. On the code. Everyone kept everyone's secret.
No. I know that, but I'm just saying.
So she would tell someone, and a couple people will know, and no one will say where he is because they wouldn't do that. I'm not saying go to know because we know what's going to happen. Everybody knows what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I don't think they would have told her just because it is, plausible deniability.
Right, because she would tell people.
Called and said, hey, he's safe. That's all you need to know.
I wouldn't even tell her that because she's going to tell people. And that's just, we going to tell people.
Yeah.
All grandmama need to know is he escaped and he ain't at Shawshank.
Yeah.
But seriously, Dina may be right. We don't even know if she alive because no one has checked on her, brought her groceries, nothing.
Nope.
With that attitude, she could have been it for all we know.
She's not.
Could have been.
But I know we already mentioned it, but I'm looking at it on the screen again. Yeah, this woman dropped her child off at the black spot and never came back until the next morning. What did she think was going on at the black spot?
And what was she doing?
Probably packing for that trip back to Shreveport.
She was already packed up pretty much. That suitcase was done. She could have drove back over there.
I ain't mean to start us down this road, but
was she talking to the RFKs and the MLKs and the FKs? Because seriously, where the hell was she?
Right.
This guy, even though he's innocent, he's still a wanted man. That alone was just dangerous. But then you left him with a bunch of military men with guns. I guess she felt comfortable because she's a military wife. But I'm sorry, I'm not leaving my kids in what basically amounts to being the NCO club on base. Basically,
right? Like, the bar.
What are you doing?
He's drinking Air Force Coke.
Right, Freedom Coke.
Right.
This tastes funny.
But
so yeah, it tells it apparently is about to go to sleep. It's tired. It's full.
It's full. The arguing happened. It's time to night.
Night.
So then in this, we need to move on to these goddamn military.
Yeah. Do we have to though?
Yes, because first of all, the sergeant or whoever who calls Hanlon over once he and Charlotte finally get there and they're talking to Will, you call him over there. Do you not realize his son was in this building? This is where he needs to be. Whatever it is that y'all need him for, that shit can wait.
Okay, I'm going. We got the show. We got to move the show along. We can't have him going on the sideline taking care of his kid.
Can we at least let the kid tell his dad that his friend died?
No, we don't have time for that. We got but 8 episodes.
And he's just as bad because he's ready to. We gonna get this mission done, and then we gonna leave. Get the mission done.
It's all about protecting America.
Well, I think at this point.
It's all about America.
I would say at this point, because what they call him over is to deal with Halloran, because of course Halloran is seeing all the dead people now, and they're trying to get Hanlon to talk him down to figure out what's going on. I think at this point Hanlon, yes, there is still the military aspect, but I think now he sees just how serious this thing is because your son almost died. And Dick just told you, yeah, that thing was here. I think at that point, Leroy was like, okay, you know what? We need to get this shit. We need to get this done. Because my son almost died last night. Like that was the closest that Will came to dying. And I think at this point, when he was like, yo, we need to help Dickie so he can figure this thing out. So we can do what y'all said we were going to do. We can, you know, shrink the cage of this thing and be done with it. So I think he really, at that point, shifted what his priority was. But of course, he needs the military in order to complete that part because the military is the one who started all of this. Dickie is the one who can locate this stuff. And just like when he's having that conversation and he's telling them, he was like, yeah, so this thing might be asleep. I don't feel him anymore. But if we still need to do what we need to do, then we just need to go follow this chick right here. She'll lead us to one of the pillars, you know.
Again, Dick doing too damn much. Again, sir, like you see what's gonna happen. You see all this stuff that's going down. Stop helping them.
At this point, Dick was like, if it's something that's going to help quell all of this, because I don't know, maybe he felt like once they were able to do what they needed to do to Pennywise, instead of him trying to focus on all this stuff, okay, Pennywise is gone, he's asleep. Maybe now I can focus enough to put these things back in the box.
I think part of it is unless he helps them do what they need to do, they won't ever let him leave.
Yeah, that too.
And so I gotta get them to get this done, and then I can get out of here, and then I can put this stuff back in the box.
Yeah.
But as long as they're still looking for the pillar, they're not gonna let him go anywhere.
No.
He's gonna be stuck there.
Yeah. And especially now that you done told them that all these dead people are following you around. Hey, get some information out of them. So I think really it is to the point where he's just like, okay, you know what? Let me help them do what they need to do. They can put this thing away or lock him away, do whatever. I don't have to worry about him coming after me. Now I can focus on undoing the damage he did.
Or I can just get out of here.
Well, I'm saying the damage that he did as far as to Dickie.
Yeah.
Like you open my box up now. If I don't have to focus on you, actually, I can focus on putting these things back in the box, and I don't have to deal with this no more. You know, so it's like both Dick and Leroy were thinking, okay, you know what? Kill two birds with one stone. Let's go ahead, do this thing. We'll have one problem solved, the Pennywise problem. Then I bet you Leroy probably was going to retire and go start his farm and be like, you know what? Y'all got him. I'm taking my family. I'm getting out of here.
I wasn't talking about Leroy leaving. I was talking about Dick.
I'm talking about both of them leaving.
Oh, okay. Because Dick don't be there no more.
Yeah, I'm talking about both of them.
He's been done.
Dick,
but I'm talking about Leroy probably at this moment. He's thinking, okay, let me help them finish doing what they need to do with this. And then that way, when my family rolls out for Shreveport, I can be in the car with them. That's probably what his mindset is. And then, of course, you have the added complication of Hank being out there. You know, Charlotte is trying to figure out, okay, so what are we going to do with him? I'm so sorry. Charlotte is a good one. Because at this point, I would have been like, you know what, Hank, you are on your own. I'm taking my son. I'm getting the fuck out.
Let's talk about Charlotte real quick. She's like, we need to find out who did this. Leroy's like, they ain't our job. Why do we have to figure out who did this?
Why do you look? Why do you have to? Why are you the one that has to go find these shards? I mean, I get it.
Well, that's actually his job. His job is not to figure out who burned down the place.
His job as a father is to figure out who tried to kill his son.
No, at this point, their jobs is to get into that vehicle and drive to another state. It's too much. It's too many things happening.
He
It's
can't go AWOL.
It's crazy people.
No, what did I say in the last episode?
So
he can go AWOL because by the time they get up enough, whatever, to go look for him, once they get away from Derry, they might not even remember who he is because they brought him there for that whole thing.
And first of all, he pulled a knife. He pulled a gun on them. I mean, at this point.
Well, this is afterwards, though. But at this moment, when they're in the car talking about Hank, this is when they need to pull off and get the hell on.
All I know is I agree with him. We ain't got to figure out who did this. Let's worry about what we can worry about and get the hell out of here.
And I think the other thing too is he probably knows who did this.
Yeah. Well, all
we got to do is protect Will.
Is
it all the white men in Derry? I'm sorry, all the white men in Derry. That's who did it. Who ain't on the base.
Mm-hmm. So at this point, again, let them get in the car and have them drive to safety. Mm-hmm. You have a bigger. Honestly, this is horrible, extremely horrible. But there's a bigger fish.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fish!
We just forgetting about that part.
The fish that went to sleep swimming in the blood.
And y'all still over here again, going home, and
Yeah.
And then once they melted the shark.
Okay, let's.
Okay,
first. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Because I'm just saying bad parenting. So get to that. So I can say again, bad parenting on both parents.
Yeah.
Everybody sucks. Everybody sucks.
We're just gonna have a bad parenting panel on all these people.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But the news report the next morning. When I say I was hot.
Dina's soapbox. Here you go.
Fish grease. Just what? So now Mr. Kirsch is a hero. He went to go help the Negroes who set themselves on fire with their horrible juke joint because it was all their fault. And it was illegal, by the way, that juke joint that they had that, oh my God. Like I was just like, just lay it on thick, sir. Lay it on thick. Are you kidding me right now? And Hank Grogan is dead and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like...
Well, they think Hank Grogan is dead because Charlotte staged it. So that's the good thing.
No, Charlotte I know, but I just think they're also very dumb because I feel like unless there was still some fire going on, I guess his clothes maybe caught some fire and they looked a little burnt. But if somebody is dead, you see clothes and no body. You just assume that. I guess you just assume all Black people look alike in regular skin, charred skin. It don't matter, right?
She probably told Leroy, since you ain't got no fear, I need you to take these clothes and go put it on one of them dead bodies.
And that's what I was wondering. Like, how did they assume it was him? Because
they all Black. Don't you know all Black folks look alike?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I guess because charred don't change that, right? Like, oh my
They're
gosh.
probably like, okay, well, and they probably got statements from somebody like, yeah, Hank Grogan was here.
Well, they had that girl who was laughing hysterically.
Okay.
Well, they probably asked. They might have asked the kids, like, where your daddy? And Ronnie might have been like, oh, my daddy, I don't know. Who knows?
He's dead.
But some of there were some other survivors. The other survivors probably told the police the truth, but of course the police aren't going to report that. They probably said, oh yeah, some folks in masks came in here looking for Hank Grogan and they burnt it down.
It's on fire.
Yeah.
That story is not going to be reported in the news.
No, but they probably took the one thing. Oh, Hank Grogan was here. Oh, these are his. Oh, okay. We'll at least put that part out. Yeah, they would believe that part easily enough. They don't care how he's dead. Just the fact that, oh, guess what? He's dead. We don't have to keep looking for this fucker.
Yeah, and it's a lot of cover-ups too because they said, oh, people die helping the illegal Negro juke joint, and so all the people that got shot on their end of things, I guess they didn't let them have autopsies and they covered up the bodies so the people wouldn't know that they were just out there getting shot in the woods. Like, come on, man, it's.
Yeah, because I don't recall seeing any of the white men who drove away picking up their dead bodies because there were a couple of them that got shot. So what? Did y'all just leave them there?
They
no,
did.
they probably
That's why
did. Well, we saw the inside. So while some was shooting at the window, we don't know if the other ones pulled them out and threw them in the trunk.
Mm.
Well, I
Because
think
it
they
wasn't
had
their
to
bodies
at
outside.
least found the bodies somewhere. Somebody had access to the bodies because that was their excuse for why people were dead who were white. Because and Kirsch was the main one because, of course, they had to make a big deal about Kirsch specifically.
Oh, yeah.
But they said it was other people that came, town people
And to help.
came to help, and they died. They perished while they were helping.
Yeah.
So they definitely killed a few.
And while they were helping, they were shooting the people at the same time because, there's
Well,
guns.
the medical examiner was probably one of the guys in the mask.
Probably
I know. I'm just saying. I mean,
because the sheriff was, so why not, right?
Why not? Yeah. Why not? Medical examiner was probably like, "Oh yeah, we'll take care of this."
Mm.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So yeah, they take that. They take so yeah, they end up having Dick show them where the pillar is. Pillar is.
Oh, in the Rose's council.
Oh yeah,
they have their little augury is over.
Right. We good for 27 years. Yeah. I'll see y'all fuckers later. That one dude, he was
shit asses. I said, no, he didn't. Are you gonna even be alive 27 years from now, sir?
No. But he's like, I'm good though.
But you notice how that boy who had an attitude at first, who was like, oh my God, can he just hurry up? Now sees how messed up it is now that he see how many people die, his whole attitude changed.
Yep. 23 people in the fire, and altogether in this cycle, 17 children.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
A lot.
That's a lot. But according to them, the augury is over. And also, according to...
I take issue with something Rose said. We do what we can. What did she say? We do
as much as we can for as many as we can.
What you doing?
Keeping him trapped.
Yeah.
No. That's not what it feels like she's saying. Focus on the lives saved. What lives did you save?
Because what she's saying is
the whole world.
Saying is it could have been more.
Yeah.
No. Just saying.
Okay, yeah, so
it could have been more.
Online. You sound like people online talking about, they should have told people, they should have did this. Them Indians should have did this. Them natives should have did
that. Well,
the
lives they saved was 2 lives.
I'm just saying.
They saved they kids' lives.
I didn't see what was online. I'm just saying.
But it's true though, because they didn't help save the lives of the kids in Derry. But they helped save the world.
But they know that he got to have a certain amount of food before he go back.
But see, that ain't right either. That ain't right.
Well, it ain't right.
It's not. But
the world versus one little town.
But they kids are safe
all the time.
Like they kids are safe.
They try to tell the colonizers it's the colonizers' fault.
Right. But
the colonizers.
This is something that we have discussed before on other shows. Think about The Last of Us and Joel's decision. You saved the one person when you could have saved almost all of humanity. You made your choice. Okay, you know what? I'm going to make the decision to save this. This is the same thing they're doing. They're like, look, we can't save everybody, but at least the majority of the town is okay. Because if they didn't have those pillars there, Derry would just be a playground for him, period. Yeah.
Speaking of the pillars.
Or just anywhere would be a playground, not even just Derry, because he would be able to go wherever. He would be able
to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So when you look at it like that,
it calls itself the Eater of Worlds.
Eater of Worlds, exactly. Exactly, sir. See, your own words coming back to bite you in the butt. Because if the colonizers hadn't decided to build a whole town where they told them not to go, there wouldn't be a Derry for him to eat. And he might have just would have died eventually. Because he would have just been surviving off of random people who just walked in the woods every now and again.
Right.
So they did the best they could with what they had.
Speaking of the pillars, Dick led them to one of the pillars.
Oh my God.
And they dug it up, and it was inside the turtle shell.
It was inside the turtle shell.
It was the one with in the turtle shells. But the crazy thing was, so they get the pillar, They put it on the truck. Leroy is about to get on the truck and they tell him stand down. Oh no, you ain't going with this. He was like, but we got to take this back to base so we can do such and such. He was like, no, we got this. I was like, oh, they finna do something they not supposed to do.
Yeah, they were supposed to move it in closer to town. And he was like, oh no, we're taking it back to the base.
We're gonna see if there are any properties that will help us to. I said, if that ain't a bunch of bullshit. Bullshit. And I think at this point, Leroy figured out something ain't right with this.
Something ain't right.
Because we see as soon as they get it to the base, they have an incinerator. And they're about to put it in the incinerator. Now, I'm sitting here like my mind went to the obvious place, but I was like, they can't be about to destroy it. They must be testing its properties to see how indestructible. This is what I'm thinking. I'm like, oh, they want to see how indestructible this is because, you know, it did come from outer space. It didn't disintegrate when it hit the earth. Maybe they just want to see how strong it is. When Leroy came in with that gun, I said, oh, they really were about to do the stupid thing. I was like, because now you've taken it from where it was. So you took one of the bars out of the prison, enough for him to squeeze through. And we see that because as soon as they pulled off with it, you see the camera goes into the sewer. Pennywise is sleeping. All of a sudden his eyes are up and he's just looking around like, wait, something's different.
He's like, something different. Something different.
That is the most stupidest thing you could ever do. Like, literally, you should have just took it. Even if you took it out of state, which he could have done the same thing, you can keep it for when you need to cage him. You don't destroy it. That's why I'm done.
Yeah, but you remember what the general said. They wanted to make sure it got out. Like,
yeah, but then there's going to be a point in years that maybe we got to put it back. So let's keep it. Hold of it somewhere.
Let's talk about what the general said, because when I say this fucker pissed me off.
Yeah.
Because his whole excuse for all of this is, oh, this is how we're going to end war. We're going to make everybody scared. And once everybody is scared, they're going to fall into place and they're going to do what they're supposed to do. Once we, I guess, weed out people, like, oh, we're going to let the creature go in and do what he does and scare enough people so that, excuse me, do you know what you're talking about doing?
Yeah.
You are literally about to use this as a weapon to control the entire world for so-called peace. If you don't get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
This man pissed me off because, and you're saying this while Leroy has a gun to you.
No, and then he says the example. He said, yeah, after what happened last night, look, today there's peace in the streets.
There's lies in the streets.
Lying.
Ain't no peace.
Ain't no peace. People lying. They're lying about what happened.
Right.
There's peace in the streets.
That's the peace.
And the piece is the black folks are too scared to say anything because they just saw y'all are willing to kill. And the white folks are like, what we got to do? We got our justice. We did what we wanted to do. So why would there be any? Lord, let me tell you, that man pissed me off so bad.
So now let me get to the parents now. So once they melted the shards, the shard, whatever. This is when you call your wife and say, get in the Oldsmobile.
Because y'all are in the house in Derry.
Right. Because
you went back to the house in Derry to put Hank there because you're like, oh, ain't nobody gonna look for him there.
Your mama is still like no one paying attention to him anyway. So you could have put him in the trunk and get out of there. You didn't call your wife to say this is what happened. Our son could be in danger. Nothing. And guess what? He was the first one on its list.
Because Charlotte left with Hank and told Will, stay in the house. You left him in the house in Derry just because, okay, yeah, that thing is asleep. Don't you wake up when you go to sleep? Just on principle alone, my child would have been with me. I was like,
but I'm sorry, side note, I just thought it was funny when Will answered the phone. He was all big and bad.
He was.
He was.
I'm not scared.
I'm scared of you.
Not scared.
Oh, really?
That camera work was great though, because it was right here. So you were so in his face and his emotion, and then it was like,
yeah, like, oh shit, I'm sorry, I am scared of you. My bad. I thought you was on the phone on the other end.
But I guess Will's kind of lucky because he got the deadlights. He didn't get crunch. So.
But you know what? The most horrifying thing about this also second part of this episode is that Will was in a fire and then he dies in a fire.
Yeah, I thought about that.
Yeah.
You survive a fire to then die later of a fire.
Well, it finally got him. It finally got him. But yeah, no, Pennywise now walking around with like he was in a literal bloodbath. So he's walking around with half his body is covered in blood.
Right.
He jumped out. He didn't even take a chance to get himself together.
Yeah.
Clean himself up.
And then poor Lily, like Lily has no idea none of this is going on. Like she hears the reports on the news, but she doesn't even know about the black spot. So nothing has her thinking that she should be worried for her friends or whatever. Here she is sitting on her bed. She's still holding the Precious. And Marge and Ronnie come in to tell her that Rich is dead. And I felt so bad for her because she's going to feel guilt about that too. Like, oh, Rich is another person that I kind of delivered to him.
Mm-hmm.
But man, this whole thing is just like Pennywise coming back, waking up because now he realized, oh, I don't have to do this cycle anymore. I can just kind of roam how I want to. And it's like,
yeah, I'm not ready for my sleep yet. I think I can like get another
like oh, I'm hungry again.
Yeah, like I can get another meal in.
See, yeah. I think one of the properties of the cage, it may have been suppressing him. And that's probably why he was getting tired and having to go to sleep. Like it's actively suppressing him. But now it's gone.
Yeah. But listen now, but I don't even think that. I'm like, literally, he hibernates. But if you're about to take a nap and then someone offers you, like you're about to take a nap and someone offers you, Anthony, we got tickets. 5 last minute. We know it's 10 minutes before the game. Do you want to go to the Georgia-Alabama game and Georgia will win at the end? What you gonna do? I'm okay. I'm gonna go back to sleep. Or you gonna get your ass up and say, hey, I can rest after I'm done. Are you not gonna answer that? Okay. You really thought I was hypothetical?
I thought it was a rhetorical question.
No, because you'll get up. So yeah. He was like, oh, something is different.
He was I feel like it's time for a snack.
Right. Like I can get one little last dessert in before I go to sleep because this is gonna be good right here. This is gonna be real good.
Mm-hmm. And he just happens to come after. He comes after Will because Will is by himself because all the girls are together now. They go to tell Lily, and then they go to the tower to clear Rich's stuff. When I say, they got me with this episode. And then when she sees his little airplane, and she's like, he never did get it down the main street. I was like, you know what? I'm cutting this shit off. I can't. I just, they got me with this episode.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
And all I have to say is, I like people's comments of the Losers Club got it easy. They got it easy.
You think so?
Yeah, he was just older.
Yeah.
You have your good year. You got your good years and your bad years. That was kind of like a bad year for him. Like he wasn't on top of his game like he is right now.
Look, that's the second cycle twice that he has been challenged by these kids. He was probably like, you know what? Fuck these kids.
But he didn't have
the energy.
We didn't. He's like the first time around, they got off like extremely easy.
Yeah.
They did.
You talk about the Losers Club or these kids?
The Losers Club.
I think he was just taking his time with them.
He was old.
He's millions of years old.
But
what is 30 years to it?
It's not, but this is towards the time where
it's
you be like, no, I'm just this year.
He was entering his senior citizen phase.
Right.
The arthritis is setting in.
It's a million years old.
This right. He is very creative. Right, but he is very creative.
Well, he's learned a few things thanks to these kids.
No.
These kids made it worse for the Losers Club.
No, they didn't. It is worse now. That's what we're saying. It's worse for these kids and adults than it is for the Losers Club. They had it easy.
Okay.
It now is psychopath.
Okay.
For them, they did what Hanukkah. He did the crazy run and say, hey, you're scared. Okay, I'm good. Here.
Yeah.
He calls it main events and stuff.
Well, I think one of y'all said this.
Demon baby coming out of his body.
When y'all said this, the difference with the Losers Club is that they were all kind of strong and they were strong enough to get away. These kids is weak right here. Look at poor Lily.
I don't know.
I think Rich is probably more like I don't. You know what I mean? Because I think Rich was more like the Loser Club kids. Probably.
I'll switch it. I say the Loser Club kids were easy. That's why he ain't had to do much. Like it wasn't even work. Like I can literally just say a zombie that has bed bugs.
Yeah, but they
scare you.
But they got out of Derry.
Yeah.
Well,
I would say this.
And you know what? He should have had the same energy. Like we be talking about energy. He should have had the same energy now that he should have had with the Losers Club.
But you know what? I think the kids in this year, it's not that they were easy or that they were weak. They didn't have, at this point, those kids didn't have the trauma. They didn't have a reason to be strong. They were able to just be kids. You know what I'm saying? When you get older, when we get older into the 80s, these kids are seeing a little bit more. They're experiencing a little bit more. Their parents are the ones who went through Vietnam. They've at this point really come out on the other side of the civil rights movement. They're in the 80s. You have the AIDS epidemic. You have all of this stuff that these kids are having to look at and learn about. And I think that probably just made them a little more resilient than these kids in 62 are.
And I think the opposite. I think these kids are more resilient because they do have not the same, but they still have the generational trauma, but they just had to deal with it, even though the kids in the 80s have to deal with it. But he really mess with their minds now. Then he really didn't. He took the most simplest fear that they had and they were goners.
Hey, this sounds like a good panel that we could have at a convention.
And the thing about it, here, he's hitting everyone. He's hitting adults. He's hitting kids all at the same time and causing a major event. Mm-hmm. With the Losers Club, he was just the kids. And that was his downfall. He underestimated them. He was like, I have to show Bev some blood coming out of the sink and we good. You see what I'm saying? We good with her. That was one. We not one out. One, Just torture him with his brother's cries because I killed his brother. Because he wasn't there to play. He wasn't there to play.
Mm-hmm.
These friends, he getting ghosts. You see what I'm saying? He's doing a lot more. He's literally grabbed somebody fishing. All I was doing was fly fishing. Think about it.
Yeah.
Then he got one woman saying, "Daddy, Daddy, Papa, feed me some children." I mean, he got a lot. He got a lot going on. He has a lot. The Losers Club. He's like, hey.
Yeah. But now, I mean, he's woken up. So at this point, what is he going to do? Are you about to do something bigger than the augury? Like, are you about to create a bigger bloodbath? Again, we know Will survives. So we know he's not going to die. He's got the whole deadlights thing. And of course, I think at this point, the friends are probably going to go rescue him because right now it's just the girls. Because Rich is gone. And if anything, now Ronnie really has a, okay, so this is what happened when all of us didn't stick together. You see what happened and now Rich is gone. Now Will is gone. I think if anything, this is going to motivate Ronnie to be like, okay, you know what? We need to put that fucker back in his box. We need to kill him. Hey, Lily, you still got that precious? Oh, okay, let's do this. Because I think at this point, now they've all lost too much.
Mm-hmm.
And then you lost the heart of the group. Rich definitely was the heart of the group. He was the one that made the most sense. He was the one that basically was telling them, yo, can we stop fighting? This is what this thing wants. He wants to split us up. He wants to pull us apart. And you see exactly what happened when he pulled them apart. See, y'all should have just got the shard, went into the sewers, killed his ass. The black spot would have been fine. But Ronnie was so intent on protecting her father, now everybody dead.
Correct.
Not put that blame on her, but
no, it was the daddy's fault. He should have stayed in the back room. Let's be completely honest.
Yeah, because
he put them in a terrible situation.
You didn't just put the other people in danger. You put your child in danger.
Oh, you know what we forgot to say too?
Oh,
he was in a bloodbath.
I did.
You did? No. He was in a bloodbath full of, because right there, intestines, arm parts, he's the bodies.
He's always.
I know, I'm just saying, I would prefer just a bloodbath. We just didn't emphasize all the that was around him.
He's always in the midst of body parts.
So it's like, oh my God.
And other things, yeah. So now,
is it me or in this last scene must have been filmed later because Will looks kind of taller.
It is.
He looks much older in this scene.
Could be, or it could be the way the camera is, because again, you got Pennywise up on the fridge. Maybe the angle of the camera is different or something.
He looks bigger.
No, they said, and this could be false. I read something that there is a gap from when they had to take a break. So the kids do look bigger.
Oh, okay.
And they got taller.
Yeah, he looks taller. It's because I'm around these munchkins all the time. I know this when these changes happen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But here's my thing. Pennywise, you in this bloodbath with all these body parts and stuff. How is your wig still laid?
He knew better from Bob. Because Bob hair was all over the place.
Right. But, okay.
Yeah, it was delayed in 2023 to the actors.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Is writer strike?
That's what it said. It said why the kids look older in episode 5 was because of the delay in 2023.
Okay. And that was the writer strike then, wasn't it?
Yep, it was.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think the only other thing that happened in this episode was, of course, like we said, Charlotte, they're in the house in Derry. She takes Hank because she's still trying to get him over the border, she goes to see Rose. Now, I don't know. I think I'm at the point where I understand Charlotte has good intentions. And I understand that this man is innocent. But everybody that you have put in this man's vicinity to help him has ended up dead. At this point, you don't need to bring nobody else into this. Now, granted, Rose is more prepared than other people, but I don't think Charlotte knows that. I don't think Charlotte, like, I know Rose gave her kind of like a veiled warning about what was going on in Derry. But still, at this point, Hank Grogan needs to be the least of your concerns. Find somebody else to help him and let that go. You need to get your son out of town. Or at the very least, you need to get him the hell out of that house. You should have taken him with you. If you want to sit here and pass off Hank in your husband's clothes as your husband, take the son with you. It's not like you're going to be saying anything to Rose that Will can't hear. Will just lived through a whole firebombing. He just watched his friend die. He done seen ghosts of the other dead kids. He done seen bodies of the other dead kids. He done almost got shot by his own daddy, seen his daddy shoot his best friend. Believe me, Will can handle whatever you got to tell Rose about getting Hank Grogan across the Canadian border. And then in the midst of all of this, Daniel is spying. He sees that they've dug up the shard. He comes running into Rose's house. Auntie, we got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think a problem is an understatement. And unfortunately, Charlotte is about to find that out. But here's the other thing. Will is at the house by himself. He opens the refrigerator door to grab sodas. Why y'all have to have that jar of eggs sitting over there looking like the jar of pickles? Did y'all really have to do that? Because at this point, I was expecting something else. I wasn't expecting. Oh, no, excuse me. There is a jar of baby dill pickles right next to the jar of eggs.
Yeah.
So
I thought one of the eggs was going to roll over and be an eye or something.
Oh, no,
right.
That's all.
Right. But when that telephone starts ringing, Will goes to answer it, and it sounds like Ronnie. Now, the thing that made me suspicious was when he picked up the phone and she said, "Hey, Will, it's Ron." I don't think I've ever heard her refer to herself as Ron in any of these 7 episodes. And neither has he. And he just goes with it. "Ron, I'm sorry. My mom wouldn't let me out." I said, something ain't right about this. When has she ever called herself Ron? Is Veronica or Ronnie?
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he knew what they were doing, because he's telling her, "Hey, it's okay. We went over to the standpipe to clear Rich's stuff out." How do you know this?
It's in everybody's head.
I know.
I think if you think about it, I think that's when Dick says he could always feel it. Yeah. I wonder if that's what it is. It's in everybody's head. And it's just that Dick is sensitive to it, so he can feel it in his head.
Yeah.
It's like Michelle was saying, it's got his feelers out everywhere.
He's extremely strong.
It's got his feelers out. And so it knows what everyone's doing.
Right. Right. But
he
when he starts telling Will, he was like, as Ronnie, he's like, "I can't believe he's gone. I can't believe he died like that. I can't, how he must have suffocated, his lungs bursting like popcorn." I was like, even Will is looking like, the fuck? And then you hear Pennywise's voice talking about, "Oh yeah, it was making my mouth water, smelling his stinky little body and blah." I was like, Will.
I was like, why are you still on the
Out the
phone?
house.
Why are you still on the phone?
Right.
Why are you still
But
on the
again,
phone?
like you said, he probably thought, oh, he's somewhere else. But dude, you are back in Derry. You are back in Derry. You are in his playhouse. But he, I don't know. Maybe he didn't think the threat was that big because, again, according to your dad, according to Dick Halloran, Pennywise is asleep.
Supposed to be and would be.
And
he would be,
and
but
would
y'all,
be.
Right.
Y'all messed
so maybe
up.
Will was just like, okay,
You
he's just in
messed
my
up.
head now. Maybe this ain't even real. And so
He's a
that's why
kid.
he's.
I don't think he was making any. I don't think he was thinking anything about that. I thought he just reacted to what was happening. I'm not scared of you. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then he turns
Like,
around because he's like, I'm not scared of you. I'm done being scared. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, I can't hear you. He turned around like, hold up, Dick came from behind me. And there's Pennywise.
headlights.
Deadlights. I was like, it's going to be up to the girls to save him now. The girls are going to have to be the heroes.
Mm-hmm.
But this episode, I've been seeing a lot of people talking about this was the best episode of the series so far. And I do agree.
I think I wouldn't say it was the best. It was the toughest.
What would you say is the best so far?
I don't know. I wait until I see episode 8, then I'll make a decision.
Okay. But yeah, this
one was definitely the hardest.
Yeah.
It was a lot though, too. Yeah. It was a lot. They put a lot in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't think it is a lot, but it was a lot to take in.
Mm-hmm.
The Bob situation, because then you'd be like, well, how you feel bad? Like Bob lost his wife, he got his daughter, then you took the father from the daughter. I mean, and then, he was drinking. He wasn't going to help a kid, but he liked to entertain the children. He just needed to take a break during his break time. And I think everyone deserves a break and some wine at the end.
Yeah.
However, you had that, then the black spot, and that's a whole situation. Then Richard, that's a whole situation. Then they get the shard melted, and you know what's about to happen. That's a whole different situation. And then you got Will with the dead. That's a whole nother situation. All in one episode. It was a lot.
Mm-hmm. But that general, I really want Rose to come and whoop his ass. And I hope we have a confrontation. She's going to be like, I told you what would happen if you went and messed with this thing. Because, she probably heard the news reports and was like, yep, I know what happened. I mean, they talked about it at the augury. I mean, at the meeting when they discussed the augury. Oh, yeah, 23 dead. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm not gonna get over this episode for a while. And like I said, give that child all the awards because he knocked it out of the park.
He did. He did.
So now we have one more episode for the season. Pennywise is back. Will is in the deadlights. I don't know what's about to happen. Obviously, he's gonna go to sleep for 27 years, but what kind of
we know that part, but
what kind of damage is he about to do before he
that
does?
We don't know.
Yeah.
And we just know he's marked safe.
Because y'all melted one of the shards. So how are y'all?
They have a replacement.
They do,
shard.
And that's what my theory.
Lily walking around with the replacement.
That's what my theory is.
True.
Mm-hmm.
True.
That they end up getting that one and burying that one.
Yeah. That would make sense. Or
they could do a massive search for the rest of the ship. Or with the rest of the thing that it was in.
The comet or whatever, yeah. But wouldn't that be in his area? Like, or connected? Well, no, because that was out in the middle of the field. So
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. But you guys have any final thoughts about this episode?
Nope.
Nope, that's it.
I think rest in peace, Will.
Peace, Richie.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Rich.
And if we know better, rest in peace, Will, but we know better.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think I can take another kid death in this season. We've had enough.
We may have another one. We probably will, but I'm just saying we know Will is alive. Because we gotta have Mike.
That's the only one.
That's the only one we do know.
Mark is safe.
We do. Mm-hmm. And we say that, but do we know that? Do we know that Mike's dad is Will?
Yes.
He says my dad name is Will.
We know that is his father.
But does it say his dad name is Will?
In the book, we know that it is his father.
Because he says Will?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I need. I need to know that they actually say a name. They can't say my father and my grandfather because, Will's dad could have a late kid after Will died. We don't know. I'm just saying.
His father, Will, and his wife, his mother died in the fire.
Yeah, and that wouldn't fly because it's only a 27-year period. Well, let me see. It's only a 27-year period. Even if Charlotte is pregnant now, it's going to be 18, well, anywhere between 14 and 18 years before that child has another child. And then you're talking about 10 years later. So the math would be just a little bit off.
I'm just making sure. We
Yeah.
don't have no unexpected deaths on our hands.
No. Will is marked safe.
Okay.
And so is Leroy and Dick. Yeah. That's everybody else.
Those three.
It's very
I'm not even sure if Will's mom is going to make Charlotte. We don't even
know.
Yeah.
You know what? She may not make it.
Charlotte?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she will. I mean, because think about it. Even in earlier episodes, we were talking about the fact that we've never heard them talk about Mike's mom. So
grandmother. That would be his grandmother.
Grandmother, yeah. Mm-hmm. So maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say rest in peace, Rich. And that is it for our show. You can find us online at www.fandomhybrid.com. We are on social media, on all the social media at Fandom Hybrid. You can chat with us on our Discord channel. You can watch our videos on our YouTube channel, and you can listen to us on all major podcast streaming platforms. Thanks for listening. We hope you join the conversation next time.